They will come for you. They will try to break you, bend you, and stop you. That is the law of power. Every strong man attracts enemies, but the one who endures becomes something else. Not flesh, not bone, but iron. Machiavelli understood. Men are divided into two kinds, those who are crushed and those who rise from pressure harder than stone. The world respects only the second. So hear me clearly. If you want to rule, if you want to stand untouchable, you must kill the part of you that bows, that pleads, that surrenders. You must become cold enough to walk through betrayal without flinching, silent enough to watch enemies destroy themselves, relentless enough to keep moving when all others fall. That is how you become the man they cannot break, bend, or stop. Now write it below. I am untouchable. Say it like a vow. Say it like a weapon. Because from this moment, you are no longer like the rest. Strength is not about lifting weights or throwing punches. It is not the loud voice, the fake confidence, or the empty bravado men wear to hide their weakness. Strength, true strength, is measured only by one thing, what it takes to break you. And for the man of power, the answer must be nothing. Your enemies will never always strike with swords. They will strike with silence, with betrayal, with carefully crafted doubts. They will starve you of attention, mock your failures, and plant seeds of insecurity in your mind. They will try to bend you not through force, but through manipulation. Most men fold here. They seek comfort instead of challenge. They trade their dignity for approval. They bend their will just to avoid being hated. They break themselves just to be liked. And that is why most men remain powerless, because they think survival means avoiding pain. But survival, real survival, is the art of enduring pain without surrendering your will. Machiavelli understood this deeply. Men are governed by fear and by gain. If you bend to either, you become their slave. If they see you flinch at fear, you are finished. If they see you drool over gain, you are finished. The man who wants power must appear immune to both. So, what must you do? You must endure, not passively, not as a victim, but as a weapon. When they betray you, you stand colder, sharper, more calculating. When they try to shame you, you wear their hatred like armor. When they wait for you to collapse, you rise the next morning, silent, unbroken, unstoppable. Do you know what happens then? They fear you, because they cannot comprehend a man who does not break. They cannot manipulate a man who does not bend. They cannot stop a man who cannot be moved by loss, rejection, or humiliation. Endurance transforms you from flesh and blood into something else, something beyond their reach, a wall of iron against chaos, a shadow that cannot be touched. This is why endurance is the first law of untouchable power. It strips away weakness. It silences the enemy's greatest weapon, your reaction. So engrave this vow into yourself. Nothing can break me. Nothing can bend me. Nothing can stop me. Comment it below, not as a phrase, but as a declaration, because the moment you speak it, you step into the realm of the untouchable. Power is not just about endurance. A stone can endure, a mountain can endure, but a mountain does not rule. To rule, you must master the art of bending others without ever bending yourself. Machiavelli understood this truth. Men are simple. They crave safety, they crave reward, they crave illusion. And the one who can give or take those things becomes their master. Your enemies, your rivals, even your so-called friends, they all carry levers inside them, weaknesses, desires, fears, attachments. And while they search for yours, you must bury yours so deep they will never find them. Then you will pull theirs, one by one, quietly, relentlessly, until they move in the direction you choose. This is control. This is dominance. But let me make something clear. Dominance is not screaming, not boasting, not forcing your will with noise. The man who must shout his power has already lost it. True dominance is silent, cold, invisible. It is the subtle hand that moves the pieces while the board still looks untouched. Think of it this way. When they are angry, you stay calm. When they are desperate, you stay patient. When they are blind with desire, you stay cold. And when the moment is right, you strike not with rage, but with precision. That is how kings rise. That is how empires are carved, not through chaos, but through control. So here is your command. Stop wasting energy trying to prove yourself. Stop begging for recognition. Instead, study people. Watch them, learn their patterns, see their fears, then bend them, not by force, but by letting their own weakness lead them into your hand. Write it below as a vow. I bend others. No one bends me, declare it. Live it. Because until you learn to bend others, you will always be the one being bent. Power is not always taken with words. In fact, words are the easiest way to lose it. Most men cannot stop speaking. They expose themselves with every sentence. They reveal their fears, their plans, their weaknesses. They drown themselves in noise, and in that noise, they bleed control. Machiavelli knew silence is not absence. Silence is strategy. It is not weakness. It is a weapon. When you speak less, people begin to wonder what you know. When you withhold, they imagine your strength to be greater than it is. When you remain calm and quiet in the face of attack, your enemies begin to question themselves. They start fighting shadows in their own mind. Understand this. The man who speaks less holds the power, because silence forces others to fill the void. And when they fill it, they expose themselves. Your rivals will rush to explain themselves, to justify their moves, to prove their worth. You will sit still, watching, listening, calculating. Every word they speak becomes ammunition for you, and a chain around their own neck. This is why the most feared leaders in history often said little. Their silence carried more weight than the speeches of 100 men. Their pause was more terrifying than another man's threats. Silence creates mystery. Mystery creates fear. Fear creates control. So master this. Do not explain. Do not justify. Do not reveal more than necessary. Answer questions with calm precision, or not at all. Let them drown in their own need for answers while you remain untouchable. Remember this truth. The loudest man in the room is the weakest. The quietest man is the most dangerous. From today forward, treat your words like currency. Spend them rarely, spend them wisely. Make silence do the heavy lifting for you. Write it below and burn it into yourself. My silence is my weapon. Comment it, declare it, live it. Because once you learn to control silence, you no longer just command attention, you command fear. Every man meets pain, loss, betrayal, rejection, humiliation. For most, pain is the end. They collapse under it, they curse it, they run from it. But for the few, the rare, the ruthless, pain is not the end. It is the beginning. Machiavelli understood this. Men who cannot suffer cannot rule, because leadership is suffering, power is suffering, survival is suffering. The throne is built on blood, not comfort. Your enemies want you to drown in your wounds. They hope your suffering makes you weak, distracted, broken. But they do not understand. A true man of power uses pain like iron in the forge. Every strike makes him sharper, every scar makes him harder, every betrayal makes him colder. Think carefully. What has hurt you the most? A woman who walked away? A friend who betrayed you? A family that doubted you? A system that mocked you? Most men spend years licking these wounds, whining about injustice, begging for sympathy. But you, if you are to become untouchable, you must turn every wound into a weapon. Let rejection become fuel for ambition. Let betrayal become clarity for strategy. Let humiliation become armor against weakness. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is your teacher. It whispers truths no comfort will ever reveal. It carves out illusions and leaves only reality, and reality is the only soil where power grows. Do not run from pain. Do not curse it. Stand in it. Breathe it. Let it shape you into something no man can imitate. Because when the world sees a man who has suffered deeply but stands colder, sharper, more dangerous, they fear him. They cannot control him. They know nothing they do will ever match what he has already endured. That is why pain, transformed, is the ultimate shield. It makes you untouchable. So take this vow now. My pain makes me powerful. Write it below. Comment it as a declaration. Because the man who learns to weaponize his suffering becomes the man who cannot be broken, bent, or stopped. Power is never built on being liked. Liking is weak, unstable, and fleeting. The moment you fail to please, the same people who liked you will turn on you, mock you, and betray you. Machiavelli taught the truth that most men are too soft to admit. It is better to be feared than loved when you cannot be both. Why? Because fear is stable. Fear lasts. Fear makes men think twice before crossing you. Respect, born from fear, binds them tighter than any affection ever will. Understand this. To rule, you do not need to be adored. You need to be untouchable. Respect does not come from kindness. It does not come from begging for approval. It comes from strength, from decisiveness, from coldness, from the aura that says, "Cross me, and you will regret it." But here is the deeper lesson. Fear alone is dangerous. A man who is only feared invites hatred, and hatred breeds plots. To last, you must balance fear with respect. Not warmth, not friendship, respect. How is that done? Through consistency. When you punish, punish with precision. When you reward, reward with purpose. When you speak, speak with weight. And when you act, act decisively, without hesitation. Men respect what they cannot shake. They respect discipline. They respect clarity. They respect the man who does not fold, does not compromise, does not bend. Think of the leaders who lasted. They inspired fear, but they also commanded respect through their control, their composure, their ability to act without weakness. The ones who craved love above all. They were destroyed, forgotten, erased. You must decide what you want, to be liked or to be remembered, to be praised or to be obeyed, to be a man in the crowd or a man above the crowd. The choice is simple but brutal. If you want power, stop chasing affection. Stop seeking approval. Stop explaining yourself. Instead, build an aura of fear and respect so strong that even your silence weighs more than another man's words. Say it now and write it below. I choose fear and respect over love. Declare it, because once you do, you step out of the fragile world of being liked and into the immortal world of being obeyed. If you want to rule yourself and rule others, you must master the coldest weapon of all, detachment. Emotions are the chains that bind ordinary men. Love makes them weak. Anger makes them reckless. Fear makes them hesitate. Attachment blinds them to opportunity. This is why most men never rise. They are too busy drowning in their own feelings to see the battlefield clearly. Machiavelli understood that a ruler cannot afford to be ruled by passion. He must appear human, yes, but inside he must be steel, detached, calculating, free from the storms that wreck weaker men. Ask yourself, how many times have you lost because you reacted? You spoke in anger and revealed your weakness. You trusted too much and were betrayed. You loved blindly and were destroyed. Each time, your emotions made you bend. A man who cannot control his feelings cannot control his fate. So here is the truth. You must feel, but never be controlled by what you feel. You may love, but never so deeply that it cripples you. You may trust, but never without suspicion. You may rage, but only in silence, where no one can use it against you. Detach from outcomes you cannot control. Detach from people who do not serve your purpose. Detach from the illusion that the world owes you fairness. Detachment is not weakness. It is the highest strength. It allows you to see people as they are, not as you wish them to be. It allows you to play the game with precision, unaffected by the chaos around you. The detached man cannot be manipulated. He cannot be broken with betrayal. He cannot be stopped by heartbreak. Because his power does not come from others. It comes from himself. And when others see this, they fear it. They respect it. They know you are not a slave to love, to rage, to despair. You are something else, something beyond their reach. Take this vow now. I am ruled by reason, not emotion. Write it below. Comment it as a mark of your transformation, because the moment you detach, you become untouchable. Power is not seized by accident. No man stumbles into greatness. No empire is built on chance. Behind every rise is strategy, calculated, disciplined, ruthless. Most men live without strategy. They wander, they react, they chase every distraction, every temptation, every short-lived comfort. They mistake movement for progress, noise for achievement, activity for power, and then they wonder why their lives are ruled by others. Machiavelli understood. Fortune favors the disciplined strategist, not the impulsive fool. To dominate, you must think 10 moves ahead, like a master of chess. You must see not only the battlefield in front of you, but the battlefield to come. Strategy begins with clarity. What do you want? Power, wealth, influence, legacy? Whatever it is, fix it in your mind like an unshakable star. Then cut away every distraction that does not serve it. This is where most fail. They want everything and achieve nothing. They waste years chasing pleasure, comfort, validation. A man who wants to be untouchable cannot afford that weakness. He must live with precision. Discipline is the price of strategy. You rise early while others sleep. You plan while others waste time. You act with patience while others drown in impulse. You strike only when the timing serves you, not when your emotions beg you to. But here is the ruthless part. A strategist must be willing to sacrifice pieces. Comfort, relationships, attachments, sometimes even reputation. If it does not serve the long game, you let it burn. Because the man who clings to everything will lose everything. This is why strategy requires coldness. No hesitation, no guilt, just the relentless pursuit of the outcome. Your enemies will underestimate you because you do not rush. Your rivals will mock you because you do not flaunt. Let them. When they are exhausted, scattered, exposed, you will move. And in one strike, years of their noise will collapse under the weight of your preparation. That is ruthless strategy, silent, patient, unstoppable. So declare it now and write it below. Every move I make is calculated. Comment it, make it your law. Because once you begin to live with ruthless discipline and strategy, you are no longer just surviving, you are conquering. Power is not only what you have, it is what others believe you have. Your aura, your presence, your reputation, these are weapons sharper than steel. Most men reveal too much. They explain themselves, they prove themselves, they lower their value by being accessible, predictable, ordinary. And because of this, no one fears them. No one respects them. Machiavelli knew perception is reality in the game of power. If they see you as fragile, you are fragile. If they see you as dependent, you are dependent. If they see you as untouchable, you become untouchable. So how do you build this aura? First, by controlling access. Not everyone deserves your time. Not everyone deserves your words. Not everyone deserves your presence. When you make yourself rare, you become valuable. When you make yourself scarce, you become desired. Second, by controlling your reactions. The untouchable man does not flinch. He does not panic. He does not beg. Whether he wins or loses, he remains calm, calculated, and composed. This unnerves people more than rage ever could. Third, by mastering mystery. Speak less, reveal less. Let them wonder what you know, what you plan, what you are capable of. The unknown terrifies men more than the obvious threat. Your aura must whisper one message: I cannot be broken. I cannot be bent. I cannot be stopped. And the more consistently you live this, the more the world begins to believe it. Enemies will hesitate. Allies will respect you. Strangers will sense it in your presence without knowing why. This is the power of aura. It shapes the battlefield before the war even begins. Most men try to prove they are powerful. You must go beyond proving. You must embody it until even your silence feels heavy, until even your shadow carries weight, until your very existence bends the room around you. Take this vow now. My aura is untouchable. Comment it below. Declare it. Because once you build an aura of untouchability, people will stop testing you and start orbiting around you. This is where it all converges. Endurance, control, silence, pain, fear, detachment, strategy, aura. All of it has been building toward one truth, the making of a man who is untouchable. Most men live like reeds in the wind. They bend at every gust of opinion, every shift of circumstance, every attack of fate. They beg to be liked, beg to be pitied, beg to be understood. And in that begging, they chain themselves to weakness. But you are not here to beg. You are here to rise, to become the man they cannot break. You must embrace suffering and turn it into strength. To become the man they cannot bend, you must master control over others while keeping yourself unyielding. To become the man they cannot stop, you must march forward with ruthless strategy, calculating each move until victory is inevitable. This is the ascension. The moment you step beyond ordinary men. You stop being flesh, reacting to the world, and you become iron shaping it. You stop chasing power, and instead, power begins to orbit around you. Enemies will come, they always do, but when they strike, they will find nothing to break. They will scheme to bend you, but their strings will snap in their own hands. They will try to stop you, but you will move like time itself, silent, unstoppable, inevitable. This is the man who commands respect without asking, the man whose silence is feared more than another's shouting, the man whose aura bends the air around him. This is the man who is remembered, the man who carves his name into history. You are not here to live soft. You are not here to be liked. You are here to become untouchable. So take the final vow and carve it into your soul. I cannot be broken. I cannot be bent. I cannot be stopped. Write it below. Declare it not just in words, but in the way you live from this moment forward. And if you are ready to step into this path of cold power, like this video, subscribe and turn on notifications, because here you will learn what few dare to understand, how to become the man they cannot touch, cannot shake, cannot stop. This is your beginning. The rest is yours to conquer.